Elliot Forrest with you from WQXR. Joining me now is a dear friend, the director of music and so much more at St. John the Divine. Ken Tritle, always good to see you.
Elliot, it's great to be here.
This is a really trying time, I know, for everyone in the arts. And I think the first thing I want to talk about is, it seems to me that the arts organizations are going to be last going back, just for all sorts of reasons, both financial and science and social distancing. But even within the performing arts, it seems, from what I've read, that the choral world will be the last of the last, that somehow choral singing seems to spread this virus more than anything. Do I understand the science right?
Well, I think that's the way a lot of people are thinking about this. I mean, the fact of the matter is that woodwinds in the orchestra also have the same issue, very much. So it is choral, but it's also, it's choral vocal and it's also orchestral. It's all around. And I think that, the biggest concern that we all have is that when we do sing or when we do play, we are in very close proximity together. We know the closer that we are together, the more we can feel the phrasing and all those things that are so important. So this is a deal, it's a deal for choirs. And there has been a lot of information about, yes, the aspiration of droplets, aerosolization is a real deal. So it is a concern, and it's asking us all kinds of, posing all kinds of questions. Can we sing with masks? Can we sing with social distance? And to which I actually say yes.
Well, any way to just be artful and to get things going, I know everyone's very anxious to do. And you overlap not just an artistic organization, but St. John the Divine is a huge religious organization. So you have regular services. Tell us what you are able to do now.
So where we are in these days, we are still online, even though, we now could have services with 10 people. We're not going to do that. We know that our reach through our online Zoom, and Facebook streams have been far reaching. People are able to be with us. We're able to be with them. We're able to connect in a way that we simply couldn't yet when we get into the cathedral. We're going to, I think, wait until we can have a large enough capacity to really represent a somewhat normal gathering, even though it won't be normal. There will be spatial separation and all that kind of thing. So our focus right now is both, it's a foot in each camp, really. We are meeting, we are talking regularly, going over what it's going to look like to reopen when we can, what will be the parameters around our decision to reopen, and also really thinking forward on our online presence. We're generating content constantly now.
Yeah, I was curious as to whether even during these services, I don't know if you have an organ at home, do you play live, or do you have recordings? How are you keeping your chops?
Oh, so this is amazing. It's been amazing to be a part of it, I must say. So I'm upstate in Ulster County and in Stone Ridge, New York. The local Episcopal Church has a very fine Allen electronic organ. So we started by my going in with, and I have been practicing up a storm. That's a takeaway for me from this. It's really positive. I've been going in with my iPhone, recording Bach, preludes and fugues. And we started with that. And then my colleague and friend, Ray Nagum, who's the associate music director at the cathedral, bought a MIDI system, keyboards, pedal, called Hauptwerk, which is a very highly, evolved digital sampling system. He has an organ in his home that he can only hear by way of his headphones. And Ray now is sharing those preludes and postludes with me. We've inaugurated a Tuesdays at 6, which Ray is in charge of curating. He has performed recitals on his MIDI outfit. We've included David Briggs, who's doing recordings up in Massachusetts in a church. And so we're figuring out this online business. So the organ-wise, that's what we've been doing. Also, then we're playing hymns and then sending those out to our professional cathedral choir, each of whom records with a track of their singing with this. It comes back to Jay Yee, who's another member of my staff, and Jay puts these things together in a virtual choir. Oh God, I have been ages past, our hope for years to come. first do that on Easter Sunday. And it was just a phenomenal experience for everyone to see. I get choked up, but to see our connection in isolation. And so we've been working on that, building on that, and by extension, we've been Zooming rehearsals, both with our volunteers at the cathedral and with our choristers, our kids. And so we've been doing projects where we bring those elements into a virtual choir anthem. We just did Jesu Joy of Man's Desiring in German, but we just did that and put that on the service with our volunteers joining in with the cathedral choir. We've learned a lot and about how to be connected in spite of all of this.
I'm thinking a couple of things. One is that I'd seen some preacher, someone of faith, going, God doesn't need me to be in person in regard to these online services, which I thought was kind of profound. The other thing is that creativity seems to always find a way, that there's a lot of creative people, and people at home are just, it's been amazing to me to watch the amount of output, the volume of output that people have done. And I think thirdly, based on what you said, I've known you for a long time, your enthusiasm is always infectious. And I don't think anything could possibly stop that.
Well, it's live or die, right? We have to meet, we have to move forward. We have to be, thank you for that, Elliot. And I sense that in you as well. I mean, I think why we're such great friends. We have to be creative. And I appreciate that we have to accept worst case scenarios. It may be true that we really are not together in the normal way until we have a vaccine, until people have regained their confidence about being together. But at the same time, and I really believe this, we have to nurture our connectivity, both inside our musical ensembles and with our public. We have to nurture our art in this time, even in isolation, so that when we come through this at the earliest opportunities, we can emerge and be active and strong and ready to do what we're really called to do, which is create.
You run a number of different organizations, including Musica, Sacra, and Oratorio Society of New York. How are they keeping alive and active?
Also keeping alive. Oratorio, we kind of quickly went into a Zoom rehearsal, and we've experimented with the paradigm. But every Thursday night, we have over 100 people who are joining on the Zoom. We did it last night, and let me tell you, it is so moving to be together. We actually do, a few minutes of socialization. We do a warm-up. We've had guests, everything from, the glorious Susanna Phillips and other people who are friends and artists with the society, to we had a guest appearance by a goat on a farm in California. It was awesome. And then, it was on purpose. It was great. It was great. And everybody got into the whole pet thing. So we do that. And then we go into rehearsal. And we're working on repertoire that we will be doing next May. We're working on repertoire that we haven't done. And, a combination of things. But we share the repertoire. We do it. The Zoom technology does not allow for us all to sing together. So what I do, and David Rosenmeyer and Billy Januszewski are assistant and associate conductors, we teach and interact, and then we play a chosen recording to which everybody can sing along with in the privacy of their space. There's an energy that comes back across the screen that's just amazing.
I keep saying, for me in my life, it's like almost everything, maybe a little bit more, no commute.
The no commute part, that's okay. I drive into the city and I try to pick up everything from my office that I'm going to need, whatever that's going to be, more scores. So I'm regularly doing that on a weekly basis, but it's been gratifying to realize that there are things we can do. Nothing supplants being together in person, and we understand that. And I truly believe that once we're able to be rehearsing and doing what we do, people are going to run to be a part of it.
I think
And
so
you asked about
too.
Musica Sacra. Musica Sacra, we've also been really working on our online presence in so many different ways, and we'll actually do a webinar fundraiser coming up. I mean, we're actively working on all of that.
You had a recent release on Naxos of the Paul Moravec work, his Sanctuary Road, which is so timely.
Yeah.
To have that out right now. I've known Paul for a while now. Really sweet, gentle man, a great composer. Tell us about the work.
Well, Paul is so amazing, and Mark Campbell is the librettist, and Paul and Mark together are just magic, just magic. We a member of Oratorio Society wanted to. She grew up in segregated Kentucky, and she wanted us to be able to do something musically that would address that. And so this commission came up, and Mark created this unbelievable libretto from the writings of William Still, forebear of William Grant Still, who was a conductor on the Underground Railroad in Philadelphia at a place called Sanctuary Road. This was released in January. We did it almost 2 years ago, well, 2 years ago now, but we produced it, it was released in January. It went to the top 10 classical charts for a number of weeks in a row, which was thrilling for us. And on the strength of that, we've commissioned a new work, which is called A Nation of Others. And it's another piece of magic, if even more powerful. This is about a day on Ellis Island in 1921. And it has the stories of all the various immigrants, humor here and tragedy there. We were going to do it in May. We were going to move that to November. We'll be moving it again, but we're going to do it. So it's a magical, magical collaboration.
And on top of all of this stuff, you're teaching at the Manhattan School of Music, right? And at Juilliard?
Right. So we're writing those
how you
books.
fit it all in.
Oh, Manhattan is awesome. I am the director of choral activities, and we have a 100-voice symphonic choir and a 30-voice chamber choir, and we've instituted graduate programs. So we have master's students and now doctoral students for the last several years in choral conducting. And I get to teach a graduate elective at Juilliard next year in second semester, so probably in person. It's, we're all dealing with how do we do it? How will we do it? Plan A, B, C, and Z, just thinking about, how can we do what we need to do? Because there's no question it needs to be done regardless of where we are, in person or online.
I miss you. I miss seeing you in person. I miss your energy. This has been a bit of a salve for me to spend some time with you. Very encouraging and very hopeful to spend time with you. Ken Tritle from the St. John the Divine, Musica Sacra, Oratorio Society, Juilliard, Manhattan School of Music.
The Philharmonic. I play the organ for the Philharmonic.
Philharmonic.
Yeah.
And somehow he finds time to sleep. Ken Tritle, I love you. Thank you so much.
Oh, I love you, Elliot. This is great. Thanks for talking.